Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Many people ask me, since I'm no longer dating and I see guys who are considered normies, who somehow still manage to have relationships, how they deal with women more successfully. The truth is, at some point, when dealing with the opposite sex, be it a man or a woman, you're going to get burned. At some point, you'll have to deal with the other's nature. Women generally experience rejection and other problems in casual situations, when they are hooking up with someone. For men, the suffering usually comes when they are in a relationship or marriage. To answer this question, I'm going to show you a video that was the trigger for me to make this recording. In it, you can see the woman in a position of power, of dominance, probably because the guy wanted to get back with her. And she speaks in a very dominant way. In fact, you can clearly see who is in control of the situation. Let's watch.
Didn't I tell you that I would come back? I was waiting for your changes. I didn't give you hope by saying we will get back together tomorrow. I simply told you.
Are you sure? All right.
I simply spoke hurt.
Look here, Taina. With all due respect, may God bless you. Thank you very much.
You saw, then, that she said she didn't give him any hope, that she was hurt. He probably went after her. I want to talk a little about this, the reason why a guy asks to get back with his ex, and why, 99% of the time, it's not worth it. But there is 1% where it might be, and I will explain in what dynamic I consider it favorable. You saw that his posture was, in my opinion, the correct one. He didn't argue, he left. There was no other way to do it, because she was in a position of great dominance. She was on top in the situation and wasn't going to come down. You've already lost the narrative, it's over. That's why you can't let the situation get to that point. This happens when you messed up with her, in the sense of cheating or getting caught in messages, because this is a transfer of power. If you like her, you'll want to go after her, and she will use that to walk all over you and massage her own ego. Or it could be that you've lost a lot of value in her eyes. Maybe you were too submissive, too beta, too affectionate or clingy, and she lost interest. There are two types of mindsets that lead a guy to want to get back with his ex. Scarcity mindset. One of the reasons is the scarcity mindset. It's almost impossible for a man not to have this, because libido is a combination of several factors. Maybe the guy doesn't have a good appearance, doesn't have an active social life, isn't used to dating women, or only gets involved with girls who are not at his level. Then, suddenly, a girl comes along who gives him some respect, which can happen even if you're not a gigachad. And you enter the beta side of the equation, the game of affection, love, and respect. You ask the girl to be your girlfriend very quickly, and she takes you out of that life that was already not great. With that, you create a dependence on her. Let's be honest, you miss her buttocks, her breasts, and the sex with her. You don't miss the boredom, spending money, carrying her purse at the mall, or going to boring get-togethers with her friends. One of the reasons for my last breakup was precisely a boring get-together with one of her friends. I ended up getting annoyed because I didn't even want to go. You don't miss that. Your longing is because you keep thinking that your ex is dating others. And then those flashes come into your head. You create a dependence on that type of relationship, that quality, with a girl of that level, something you weren't used to having. So, your longing is more physical and also emotional, for her affection. This is the scarcity mindset. You want to go back because you aren't used to dating many women. You can't rotate or generate new contacts that can lead to dates or, in the future, a new relationship. When you have this mindset, it's because you entered a relationship out of lack, not out of abundance. It wasn't the woman who won the relationship, it was you who asked her to be your girlfriend in a short time. Abundance mindset. The second way of wanting to get back with your ex is through the abundance mindset. You go out with several women, but you think they are much below the level of your ex-girlfriend. The woman you dated, and probably the next one you date, has a really great energy for a relationship. She provides good dates, is very good in bed, has more qualities than flaws, and a certain level of purity. When you start using apps like Tinder, you think, wow, the quality of women is very low. My ex was different. Maybe it's worth going back to her. You have a mindset of abundance, but not of that level of quality. A girlfriend is a special woman. No one dates a bad woman unless they have a lot of scarcity mindset. The guy with an abundance mindset will date a woman who is really worth it. So, these are the two reasons you might want to go back. Either out of scarcity, because you can't generate new contacts, or because the quality of your ex is hard to find. Deep down, the root of a man's fall is emotional dependence. If you get attached to her, you will be replaced. It's not in a woman's nature to reward a man who is already dominated. They were not adapted to deal with this type of man. Our ancestors lived in tribes, and women were often far from their partners, who were tribal leaders and not always available. This increased their attraction, as they needed to generate a dependence on the alpha. You do everything backward. You want to see the woman every day, you abandon your hobbies, you distance yourself from your friends. The man creates affection because he spends a lot of time with the woman. And that is not part of the ancestral female experience. The Industrial Revolution and the concept of monogamy and love appeared a short time ago. That's why women get over everything faster. They lived in groups and were often taken by other tribes, becoming war partners. The dependence on the alpha was crucial, and they were never fully available, which greatly increased the attraction. You do the opposite. You give her many days of the week, you give constant validation through messages, and you don't focus on your purpose. The end of a relationship. It's dependence that will ruin your relationship. If you've reached the point where she ended it, or you had to end it because she was sabotaging the relationship, what I call an indirect breakup, most of the time, that's how bad things happen. She pushes you away, and you end it, or she ends it because you weren't able to notice the distance, because you were too clingy. You can have a lot of money or a high SMV, sexual market value, but if you're attached, you'll be rejected. Anita already said about Lewis Hamilton, she didn't like to be with him because he was too clingy, sent too many messages, and wanted to see each other and video call all the time. Women don't like that. It's not in their nature. They might say they like it online, but in practice, it's not like that. And if you have lost all your value in her eyes, it's not worth going back. This should be a lesson to not make the same mistakes. That girl is in the past, that's how you should think. When it's worth going back. The only situation where I think it's worth going back is when you ended it for reasons of respect. For example, you noticed she was entering a phase of sabotage, something you can't totally predict, because you're not a robot. She might be dealing with guys with a higher SMV at work or at the gym, and realizes she can level up. If she starts to become cold, withhold sex, or distance herself, and you notice the clues, and end the relationship, your ego is not hurt. In this case, your behavior was correct. Ending it with a woman is a great demonstration of self-worth. When you end it, she might tell her friends that you broke up with her because you didn't like an attitude, and this increases your value to other women, because most guys are doormats, and don't break up. If you ended it in this situation, the game is not over yet. You did what was right. But most men can't handle it and send a message. And what happens? She regains control. If you contact her, you're on the bottom, and she's on top. It's not going to work. Unless she comes after you. If she reaches out, it's a case to consider, because then you can re-establish the rules of the relationship. You can say, look, what happened wasn't right, and I want it to be like this now. And she, having gone after you, will probably accept. She wants your validation because you demonstrated value. The breakup is a man's greatest demonstration of power. We cannot be violent, curse, or do any of that. The greatest power of a woman is to have options, and the man is at a disadvantage because, unfortunately, a man's desire to be in a relationship is much greater than a woman's desire for security and provision. Women are looking for this less and men are scarcer, so it's an opportunity for them. When you don't treat her as if she were your only option, it's a demonstration of value. If she comes back, consider the conditions. If she made a more minor mistake, like being cold or distant, and not something serious like cheating or exchanging nudes, you can consider going back. If she comes back, you need to punish her in a way. Don't accept her back immediately. Set reasonable conditions, both sexual and otherwise. Say, this, and this happened. You need to do such and such to win me back. Don't accept her at first, make her work for it. Maintain your SMV and purpose. What destroys a relationship is the man stopping to increase his SMV. He stops going to the gym, studying, seeking more money. Ambition is a man's hypergamy. You need to keep evolving. If you get clingy, gain weight, and stop developing, the woman will lose attraction. Increase your SMV in all areas of the relationship. Don't let the ship sink. And, finally, never put the woman in front of your purpose. Dedicate only 2 days a week to her, never 3 or 4. Give her time to miss you. Give her that space, because they like it. I don't know if it's a matter of testosterone, but a woman doesn't like to see you every day. It's like dose delete. They love it, but only after lunch. If you give it to them all the time, they get sick of it. It's in their nature, just as it is in ours. When we are hooking up with a girl we don't really like, we think, my God, she came again. It's already Monday and she's not leaving. They think the same. They don't want to see you all the time, but they won't say it to your face for fear. They will give signs. And you need to be attentive. If a woman gave you her number, the game is already won. You don't need to ask for the number right away. Just talk and show that you liked her. Don't message her right away. If she doesn't break up with you, she will give signs that she needs space. When this happened to me, I always backed off. And I'm learning with the game too. If you want to have a relationship, you'll have to apply these tactics. What's in the past, where you lost all your value because you chased after her, is gone. It's not worth going back. Take it as a lesson. If you broke up and you were right, but you went after her, and she came back because it didn't work out with someone else, know that she lost all her value. These relationships don't work. Put your ego aside, because selfishness is what makes you not want to let the woman go. You want to block her from having other options. Think that she's just watching Netflix and doing nothing. It will be better for you. This was today's video. Get my ebook Antifragile, the true manual for the high-value modern man for only $15, a symbolic price. This way, you help me and the channel to continue, because due to the topics and subjects covered here, the videos are not so widely publicized. I'll see you in the next video. Onward, warriors.